to Future Print, this virtual summit here in October 2020. We are Solimar Systems, and I am Jonathan Malone-McGrew, Senior Director of Engagement here at Solimar Systems, and I am with our next presenter.
I'm Marianne Rowan, Chief Experience Officer for Solimar, here to talk today about adaptation. So thank you for joining us.
Yes, we will be guiding you on adaptation in workflows. We call this chemistry, our solution for workflow software in the print and digital communications industry. And what we want to talk about today is adaptation and why it's important, especially as you look forward to 2021 and beyond. Of course, it will come in handy to know the definition of adaptation so that we can level the playing field here. And what we're really talking about is the adjustment to environmental conditions, really this number one definition you see here on the screen. And it's so important given what we've been faced with in 2020. But we don't want to dwell on the past. What we really want to do is look forward to the future and discuss some reasons why adapting your workflow for print and digital delivery is so important, no matter whether you're in commercial print, labels, packaging, transactional, or other types of print all around the world and even in small industries. So before we go too far, we want to have a little bit of fun. And, look, adaptation can be that major breakthrough. It can help you go from what is current today to something faster. Maybe you want to go fastest. Maybe you are improving something so that you have better morale, better workflow, better opportunity to do more business. And so these are just some fun ways to bring a smile to your face as we start to look at how adaptation can be really brought to your organization. And as part of that, we want to tell you a little bit about our organization. And Marianne's really the best to do that.
Yes, wonderful. So we have workflow software that adapts to our customers' environments and needs. And so really we're experts in PDF workflows. So everybody has PDF. And so what we like to do is really optimize that data for really driving it wherever you'd like it to go. So we're all about helping people with a digital workflow, migrating even off of commercial presses over to digital presses, and then even beyond to e-presentment, for example. So we have scalable solutions. Everything can start very tactical and it can grow into a very nice automated solution, like you may have heard the term automated document factories, for example. So we're all about doing that. What's nice about Solimar is we're almost 30 years old. We have an expert technical support. So we've seen virtually everything. And so really we're here to help and really here to empower our customers. And really we're an engineering-backed company. So the good news for our customers and our partners is we understand things like AFP and JDF, and we're on the standards committee. So we're always trying to make things more beneficial for everyone to use. And how we do this is through our user conferences. We'll tell you a little bit later about our online university. And then we have a 30-member customer advisory council that's super helpful in really helping us adapt to their growing needs. Right, so some of the themes of adaptation for Solimar. These have been themes, again, throughout our years. Operational excellence, so doing more with less, helping people save money, as well as finding new ways to make money. Helping them offer differentiated services. So what do you offer today, and what would you like to offer tomorrow? Think about new ways of personalization that are required. Improving compliance, really being about security, securing data and documents, and then really making a great customer experience. So people love working with you, they want to keep working with you, and then we have to keep adapting to the younger and younger team of workers that are going to come on board. And how do we inspire them to really come out and do their best? And so this is really the themes of Solimar's adaptation. And so, as I mentioned, next year we're going to be 30 years old. We have about 10,000 installations around the world. And so what this means for you is, we understand environments, again, from all over the world, and we try to provide this great infrastructure that benefits everyone in all different environments, from very, very large companies down to small implants and everybody in between. So one of our new case studies is Bourne's Group. And what's fun about them is it's a very long time successful company out of South Dakota and commercial press, doing all kinds of interesting work for customers. But the commercial press was really causing them significant challenges in timing. Really couldn't take on a lot of new jobs because they had to create all their shells, let them dry, and then cut them and then feed them into this manual cut sheet environment that they had. And so we met them at a show called Inkjet Summit, which is a nice conference here every year in the US. And so in 1 year, they added on a color inkjet press, which they were able to move to a full PDF workflow. And so driving everything dynamically in a digital press, and the results are really impressive.
Well, and Marianne, this is really, going back to our theme of adaptation, this is really the poster child for change and going to new technology to do more with business. And so, like you mentioned, the results are really impressive. This particular customer of ours, and we have lots of named case studies on our solimarsystems.com website, but this one is one of our newer ones, and we just think it's so interesting because this happened going into the period of the pandemic that we've seen. And this company still was able to see really incredible results and continues to see incredible business results. $400,000 in increased yearly incremental sales revenue, saving, this $100K in yearly labor and operational costs, $20K in developmental costs is part of that. But really, they're decreasing their time to create things, create print for their customers, and they're improving that customer satisfaction. And these are all things that we're going to all need to be able to do to stay relevant in the print industry, but also print and digital communications. And Bourne's Group was really an interesting study because they had to make the leap. They had to make the decision, as Marianne mentioned, to go from that more traditional offset print to a digital roll-fed inkjet engine. And they had to look at changing the way they work, to adapting to a new way of working. And the good news is it really worked out for them, and they chose people they felt would help support them, right, Marianne? It is a very positive story that we hope more people will be able to achieve as well by hearing how they did it. And we have a full case study available on this, including videos from Lee Bourne's on our website, which is really important if you get the chance to take a look at.
Yep.
But kind of moving along, adapting is more than just changing out your presses or taking out manual processes. Adapting is also making sure that you can really take anything into your print environment and use it, and then put it in the right form so that you can leverage it to optimize and make your process the best they can be. And for Solimar, we really believe that PDF is taking on the world by storm. It's continued to grow momentum over the years as the key print language, but also electronic language. And we'll talk more about why we believe PDF centricity is so important, but you probably already know that in your print environments. You're probably seeing PDF more and more. But the thing is, and you'll want to stay tuned throughout this presentation because not all PDF is created equal. But Solimar definitely understands it and can help you with it and can help you adapt what's coming in to being the best possible to what's going out to your print or digital channels. And that really takes us to this story of enrichment. So in print, you don't always have control over what's coming into your shop. But what you do have control over is how you change that, how you enrich it and enhance it so that it is what your customers want, your end customers that are getting the print delivered to them, but also what you need to make sure that your processes within your print production facility are optimized. So that could be changing out barcodes, it could be updating forms to be the correct size or orientation for your print and finishing devices. You could be data mining so that you could do personalization, upsells, and value adds to your customers. You might be adding color for people, taking something black and white and adding spot color or full color ads to help them add value to their end users that are getting the bills or statements, or maybe it's advertisements or catalogs delivered to them. So there's just so much you can do even after something is created. And we really want you to think about the power of that and taking control of that and adapting what is coming in to something even better going out that is valuable and makes your company stand out to your clients, right?
Absolutely.
And then we take that to the next thing, right, Marianne? So tell us a little bit about what we mean by householding and commingling.
Sure. So as adaptation comes, more and more companies are getting small jobs, which are really, really challenging. And so our tools allow them to be both householded as well as commingled. So you can actually have 50 or even 500 or 5,000 small jobs brought together, treated as one. And, we will go ahead and batch all that together, push it against even postal cleansing, pull it back, and then go ahead and send that out to print, whether it's a digital press or other types of printers. And the cost savings and the time savings are really just impressive.
So we talk also about intuitive capabilities, right? So it's not just about how you improve your processes or adapt your processes for manual to automated, or to improve how work is brought together, like the householding and commingling we were just talking about. It's also whether or not the people coming into your print environment, the next generation of workers, are going to be able to do things quickly. So you might have people today that are super comfortable doing things in a command line, and that is perfectly okay. But there's a generation, not unlike me, who is more visual, who is used to using mobile devices, interfaces that have been designed for touch and for visual changes. And so we think it's really important for you to look at that and be able to achieve that kind of rapid onboarding of new people through visual changes and through graphical user interfaces or GUIs, so that they can do that. And Solimar has really focused on this in the past number of years. Intuitive design capabilities through the actual technology that you're using to enhance and enrich things that are already created in the print environment and be able to control them. But for all of you coders out there, we still let you do it the command line way as well. But definitely look at how your processes are set up, and can someone new come in quickly? And can they do it visually? I mean, I go back to visual because how many of us have tried to measure the XY coordinates around the page and tried to make sure that everything lines up, whether you're doing a multi-up, postcard campaign, or some sort of catalog where you're bringing a whole bunch of different things together that have been created by other people. Maybe it's books, maybe it's labels. This takes time. So it's not only about empowering people to come up to speed and be able to create things and get jobs done faster. It's also about time and speed. So visual impositioning is something you should look for. And Solimar offers this in our tool because we felt it was important that it should do it automatically. You should give it a couple parameters about the page size and how many things you're trying to lay out, and then it should just do it. And these are the things you want to look for as you adapt for 2021 and beyond.
Absolutely. And then if you think about all the resources, so when you're creating a catalog, for example, or postcards, resources come in from all over. And so instead of putting them in files, which are still fine, or directories, for example, we offer the ability to go ahead and create templates and libraries. So even of your old code, you can keep all that code as well as all the new designs in really nice, simplified ways. And so again, great onboarding, like that last slide, Jonathan. So this is onboarding both for jobs and for new people coming on. So if you think about the benefit of both of those, this gives you visualization as well as organization.
Well, and the joys of virtual conferences, Marianne, is that we can't control the sirens, but
That's
we're
right.
okay here at Solimar. We're just a downtown office building. So if you hear some noise in the background, we apologize, but it's our first responders. So what about confidential data, Marianne, and privacy? How is that adapting?
Sure. So if you think about, think about the archives, for example. We were just talking about social security numbers and how they're really used in lots of ways they probably really weren't intended to. But I digress. Think about me calling Wells Fargo and saying, hey, can you send me my mortgage statement from 20 or so years ago? They probably would, with everything in it, including my social security number, my birthday, my husband's information as well. So what we can do is actually clean that data dynamically before it gets sent to someone. So this isn't just putting a little box over it. It can be that for printing, but we actually can remove it permanently out of a document that gets served up. And so again, huge savings. Think about existing documents you have to hold on to, but you need to adapt to today's delivery requirements.
And when you say served up, you're talking about if they were to put it in a portal where you log in and you access it, or maybe it comes to you in a secure email or something like that.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
What about people who are having trouble visually seeing documents?
Absolutely. So we have an indexing engine that Jonathan was sort of touching on some of the benefits of that. Well, that same indexing engine can create documents for the visually impaired, so they could get read to someone. And so if you look at this example of the Solimar, if you read every single line, it probably wouldn't make any sense. If you closed your eyes, you'd be like, I have no idea. So what's nice is you can actually set up indexes that actually get read to someone logically that can be very beneficial. And so this is also called 508C. And again, just a way we can adapt to people's new requirements when they are visually challenged.
And because we have on FuturePrint a global audience, so 508C is a U.S. law. There's EU regulations that talk about accessible documents and what you have to deliver for the visually impaired or someone with a disability. Also in Australia, all of APAC, basically Asia Pacific, and even in the Middle East and Africa, there are different things that govern this, and there are more serious laws in some places than others. Some are less. What am I looking for? Some require less compliance than others. So if this is important to you and your customer set, definitely let us know, because this is something we can help you adapt for. And you might already have the capability to handle this if you're already a Solimar customer. You might just need to add a module or something, because we are modular.
Yes.
So that really brings us to how we're adapting technology, right? How are you doing that though in your production floor? What we really want to shift gears on, we've been talking about all the nitty gritty, kind of how you get work through your workflow and how you get work through the shop and to the printer or to the digital delivery environment. But what about being able to see it? We want to know who can view specific jobs in production and how do you know what's going on? Can you see that easily, or do you have to go out and walk the floor? It's really all about visibility today, and especially with remote working, right? Think about the past few months of 2020 and the challenges of getting into your shop, or your people getting into your shop, your customers being able to understand where their critical work is. And it could be a restaurant customer asking for their menus because they're having to print more and more of them, or they're having to print advertising, right? It could be your salon owners, but it could be your billing customers, your electric and light customers that are sending out bills and statements, or your packaging people. I don't know about Marianne, but I get a lot of package deliveries these days at the house, and all of that is printed, right? So how do you know? Well, we have an interesting idea around being able to adapt technology so that you can see it right from your phone. So I'm holding up my phone here because we believe that it is fully possible, and we have customers doing this today with our platform, that are easily able to set up visibility, tracking, and reporting that is viewable on a mobile device, a desktop or tablet kind of environment, and also on large or wide format screens that you can set up around a shop. And this is so powerful, but what a real key differentiator is for Solimar is that you can do this with no professional services required. Now, of course, we are happy to help you set up your workflows and get everything remotely installed and put in. That is a key component of our amazing technical support and professional services folks, but you don't have to do it. And it's not required like some older solutions out on the market. So with API integrations and language localization, for those of you around the globe, we have a lot of really cool capabilities, including alerts on almost anything, and even being able to drill right down into that piece level tracking. And so I want to throw this back to Marianne to kind of talk about the dashboard views we're seeing here. And this would be more for your desktop or your large screen, because we've already just showed you a little bit of a glimpse of what you could see on your mobile.
Right. So we like to ask people, in conferences and such, wouldn't you like to go out and know what's going on in your shop right now? And so this gives you that ability. This also gives you dynamic reporting, so you can know what's coming in, what's in process now, and all the historical information with great reporting, again, that can be served up to you as you wish. And so 3 quick screenshots we took. The upper left kind of shows, again, a variety of jobs that we created very easily. Again, these are all very customizable. But how many jobs am I processing every day, every week, every month? Per device, for example. How's my performance per device? And then I can actually drill in to see my devices and actually what are they doing. So I can put even security as well as preferences and alerts on those if I really want to know if a press goes down, which I know is rare. It's good to probably know today, like Saturday versus on Monday, for example. And so then with our JDF integration, you may have heard that term before. What that means is we can actually get information off of the digital front end or the DFE to tell us how much ink and media is being used per job and actually per device. So very helpful, both for reporting as well as for quoting new jobs. So again, as you adapt into newer applications with more and more color, it's probably good to know how much color is going to be required.
And then, so we also have this idea of knowing what's happening today, tomorrow, and well, what might have been at risk, right? What might be having a problem in your shop? So this screen, one you can see from your desktop or your mobile or otherwise out on the floor in production, so your production managers can use it if they're on the floor or perhaps they're remote. It's really all about that. It's what is due right now. Some people call this a service level agreement because you might have agreements on what you have to deliver and when. But in a lot of shops, it's really just that promise to the customer. I need to get this work out today. I need to get this work out tomorrow. And then there's some stuff that might have had some issues for whatever reason that I really need to focus on as well. So it's that nice snapshot. And we provide all of this as a base feature of our SolaTrack tracking solution that also provides that mobile view into the world. You can also give your customers view into the system, which is really important because it's multi-tenant. It allows you to let people see only what they need to see, whether they're employees of yours or customers of yours, which is a really cool capability. And I think something that'll help you adapt to not having them pick up the phone and call you all the time. We can also do some other cool things around delivery. And so, Marianne, what's this all about? Is this about stuff coming to my house being delivered that I've bought?
Absolutely. So this is the ability to actually track down to the piece level, all the way from receipt of that job into a factory, all the way through delivery. Every single piece, where it went and when. And so like you probably saw on the last screen, the jobs that were overdue, they may have not been approved. So they may be out for approval, where we can actually have the next version of this software will have proofs and approval per piece of a job. So if we're not sure where to deliver this to Jonathan because we're not sure where he's at, well, that job is going to have to hold until he confirms his correct address for us, for example. So now, if you're thinking about, again, down to piece level delivery, whether it's USPS, DHL, FedEx, can all be integrated into this system.
Yeah, it's so powerful to be able to include that information. And we have some exciting proof and approval stuff coming up later in 2020 as part of the system, which will just take it to the next level, right, Marianne?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so along with everything we print, our customers, also do digital delivery. And so with a full API, we often deliver information right through portals. So, again, I speak of banks quite a bit. Many banks use our software. And when you request to see your statement this month, for example, and you ask for a PDF, it often is Solimar that's popping it up behind the scenes. And it does authentication and security, so we know it's you. And so again, just a nice extension of the digital delivery.
And I can see this being helpful for folks in packaging and commercial print that are delivering proofs and want to find new ways to deliver that digitally because, the world is changing and you want to adapt to it. So there's a lot of different ways you could use this. We'd love to talk about your use case and see if there's a good fit. And really that brings us to our chemistry platform again. We really want you to know that Solimar is here for you. Print and digital delivery in almost any print market, we have solutions for you all the way from make ready through to the archive and e-delivery we were just talking about. And we highlight this because we have made some adaptations to our software this year as well, with some great new releases, with some great new features. And one we really want to talk about right now to end out this great session at FuturePrint is something you can do today to adapt. And it's really around PDFs and how you can change them. 8 ways you can adapt these PDF files to be better for your print environment, better for your business, and ultimately better for the end customer receiving your finally produced file or digital delivery. So Marianne, why don't you share with the folks a little bit about our use cases that make this so powerful?
Sure. So several of our use cases, we grabbed a couple to put in here. So we test files for free, by the way. We get files in from customers from all over the world. And so this particular one looked quite simple, but it was actually clutching the printer. So we removed the actual credit card information and ran it through for this example of a test. And so it's about 10,000 pages is what we created. What we found inside was that it had some significant issues. So it was not caching resources. So that means that the logo, for example, might have been on every single page. So really bloating that file. It also had lots of extra fonts, either subsets and other challenges that we were able to condense and combine. One of our key features in this product called Ready PDF. Had some overhead as well, may have been some X objects and things that were in the document itself that, again, just causing bloat. And so this example, we made the file 2.5 times smaller from the original. And so, and the benefit is all the way through print as well as e and other types of delivery.
Yeah, I can't stress enough, right, that the fonts, that capability for Solimar to help printers and digital delivery providers is so key. So if you have any font problems, we'd love to hear from you and test your files even. What about this campaign application?
And this was interesting because we have a lot of customers who do campaigns. And so great campaign applications, but they're not typically designed for printing. They're designed to do a campaign. So oftentimes these output a single PDF per campaign or per person receiving this campaign. So again, here came in about a 15,000 page 2-up campaign. It was running on a digital press and just causing clutching issues. So ran it through Ready PDF to see, what's going on under the covers. And well, there was a lot. So a lot, again, images, challenges, font challenges. Now this is the one that actually had the X objects as well. And I think it had some transparency issues. So but these were all causing bloat in the file because we, as well as DFEs, those digital front ends, try to process all this extraneous information that's in a file. And by doing that, it just slows everything down. So we could either fix it or simply remove it. And so in this case, I think we simply removed most of that information that wasn't needed. And like literally almost 350 times smaller, a crazy number, hard to even sort of get your head around.
Crazy.
But yeah, but the file then was able to really move throughout, be distributed far easier than it was initially.
And this is going to be so important to anyone doing web to print or consolidation of multi-composed or created files that you're bringing together and creating one file afterwards, catalogs. This is so important around that because you just can't control how they were created, and each piece may have been created differently. And And this is what happens is you get this file bloat and this lack of performance. So such a cool thing, which really brings us to, we want you to try it. We want you to, are you ready for Ready PDF? Well, we think you are. And we want you to know we test the files for free. We also offer what we call a free evaluation system, which is really, if this is an interesting solution to you, we'll let you try it. And we believe you'll then want to onboard it really quickly, right, Marianne?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have different pricing models as well, even a very simple subscription model. So, but again, let us prove it to you. And if you go in your shop or ask some questions, I'm sure you'll probably hear there's lots of PDF headaches that people are doing interesting workarounds. And this could really solve a lot of problems and save you a lot of time and money.
It'll let you adapt for sure.
That's
and
right.
Speaking of adapting, we want to make sure that you can adapt when you want to adapt. So we're not going to throw you out of the nest and make you learn to use all these tools the hard way. We're going to be like this little flight simulator on the right here and give you some really state-of-the-art ways to learn and get to know things.
Absolutely. And how we do that is with something called Solimar University Online. So this is our online content management system. We put all the product information is in here, from documentation, but more importantly from workflow. How to set this up, how to do quick starts, all the best practices are all built in. And this is a free resource available to all of our customers globally, as well as all of our partners as well.
Right. So if you have a partner that's recommending Solimar, they have access to this to have the latest information. And when you become a customer, so will you. And this is just another way that we offer more to our customers to make it easy for them to learn. And really with that, we hope you'll contact us to start adapting today. Marianne and I are happy to have discussions about workflow anytime. We're up all the time because we love to work around the world. We used to travel a lot. Now we're doing a lot of virtual and Zooms. And no matter which way you want to contact us, we are here for you. And we just thank you so much for your time today at this virtual conference with Future Print here in October of 2020.